alignment, manifestation, synchronicity, dark night of the soul. What does it all mean? Is the woo sometimes a little too woo for you? Join me as I break it all down on Decoding the Woo Woo with Dana Sardano. Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is Decoding the Woo Woo. Welcome, and thank you for joining me. Decoding the Woo Woo is a show that I created because I wanted to clarify some of the misconceptions of the spiritual community and break down some of the heady and esoteric concepts and really demystify the cryptic and mysterious nature of the woo and remind us all that the woo is you, that we are all spiritual beings here on earth to learn, to grow, to expand, and hopefully feel love and joy in our hearts while doing so. And I know that's what I'm doing, and I hope you're here to do the same. So welcome, and let's do this. Okay. So today I want to talk about starseeds. Starseeds, it seems to be, are you a starseed? What's the role of a starseed? What's the purpose of a starseed? Seems to be a really hot topic, and I want to get into that a little bit. Before I get started, I want to do a quick recap. So up until now, this is episode 10, and the first all episodes, the first several into all episodes, the common thread has always been that you are the creative force and you are dictating your reality through your perception, through your balances and imbalances, through your beliefs about yourself and the world around you, through all of it. And I offer tips and tools and, like I said, different understandings to assist you in navigating your experience. The last few episodes, I talked about frequency and vibration and manifestation. But the last episode, I talked about awareness and perspective. Now, I want to expand on that understanding a little bit because truly our perspective is our reality. And when we understand that we see the world through a certain lens based on our experiences, based on our beliefs, based on our conditioning, based on all of that. And when we understand that the more experiences that we have had in our lives, that we have allowed ourselves to be in, not to avoid, not to ignore, not to resist, but to be in and to feel the emotions and to process them and to integrate them and to learn the lesson and then to apply that lesson to future experiences, the broader our awareness. And what happens is when we broaden our awareness, we begin to live in states of tolerance and compassion and forgiveness rather than fear and worry and anger and frustration. So we live in these higher levels of consciousness and these higher vibratory emotional states. And what happens is when we are living in these states consistently, it is our natural inclination to want to assist another. We do it all the time. It is truly our purpose. We're multi-purpose. We all have these different individual purposes that are specific to us, but humanity's purpose is as the individual to learn and to grow, and then while doing so, to assist each other in the process. Ubuntu, we're all in this thing together, right? So think about it this way. Think about like if I am, I don't know, I'm an elementary school teacher. Here we go, off the cuff, right? I'm an elementary school teacher and I have kindergarteners who are learning to write their names. I am going to ask for assist from higher levels, from fifth graders. So the fifth graders come in and assist the kindergarteners. It only makes sense that the fifth graders would not only be able to help, but they'd want to help because they have this skill and they're excited to assist another in developing their skill. It's the nature. It's our nature. Make sense? So let's talk starseeds for a second. So Okay, this gets a little bit complicated. So the purpose of a starseed, the belief of a starseed, is a being that's from the stars that incarnates here as a human being to assist humanity in its growth, in its development, in its evolution, right? So that starseed, that being from again, a different dimension, a different reality, a different planet, has volunteered to come here and assist humanity. All that starseed is a being that has had more experiences, maybe more incarnations, more integrated experiences, higher understanding, and has maybe done it in, again, different dimensions of higher frequencies, different dimensions with more expanded technologies, and has chosen to bring that information here. I don't want to say like there's nothing special, but it's the same as if you have a fifth grader that is willing to assist. Nobody is celebrating the fifth grader in a way, or lionizing the fifth grader, or putting the fifth grader on a pedestal as a god. The fifth grader just happens to have had more experience, happens to have had more understanding, more wisdom, and is benevolent enough to bring it to the kindergartner. Make sense? So the more expansive we are as human beings, the more we're able to assist other human beings and feel love and joy and compassion and all of those things while doing so. Well, our souls, and I'm talking about all of the universe, our souls, when we have had all of these different experiences on all these different planets, we gather the knowledge, we gather the wisdom to be able to assist our interplanetary, intergalactic brothers and sisters. And many, like I said, have chosen to come here and to assist planet Earth. One of the obvious, I think, interests when people start to discover that they're starseeds is, where am I from? Am I Arcturian? Am I Palladian? Am I from Andromeda? Right? Everybody wants to know where they're from. And I get that. And it's exciting because I know when I began learning about these things, I wanted to know, right? So it's exciting, but I want to put it in perspective. So I live in Florida. I live in Stuart, Florida. So when people ask me where I'm from Florida, right? But really, I'm not. First of all, I've lived in several different places in Florida. And in all of these different areas I've lived in, I had different experiences. And I took what I learned from those experiences to the next place that I live. But I'm really from New Jersey. But am I? Because my family's heritage is from Italy. But am I? Because Ancestry.com will tell you that I'm 1% Pacific Islander. But really, I'm human. And if you want to look into the whole idea of reincarnation and people incarnating as starseeds, am I really Italian and 1% Pacific Islander, or whatever else was at Ancestry.com? So there's a sense of pride and an identity that I always felt that I'm from Jersey. Right? Because they're a part of me, a part of who I am comes from those experiences. There's a sense of pride for me that, I'm Italian, because that part of my identity, there are parts of me that are very specific to that identity. So it would make sense that we would carry, those of us who believe ourselves to be starseeds, a sense of pride. Palladian, because these are the attributes of a Palladian. I'm Arcturian, because these are the attributes of an Arcturian. But really, if you really want to get out there, I'm really all things. Because at the end of the day, we all come from the same place. We all come from one creative source. And the amount of experiences, lives we could call them, but experiences that we've had, that we've chosen, Some of the difficulty, the high level experiences, if I'm incarnating in Earth and I'm choosing to have a very, very difficult experience, giving myself all sorts of obstacles and handicaps to overcome to elevate my soul, it's only going to give me a broader awareness. So there are these souls that have chosen all these different experiences and had the opportunity to live all these experiences, and they bring it here to us. So yeah, maybe I am Arcturian, but it's possible that I could also be Palladian, as I am Italian, but I am also 1% Pacific Islander. I am from Florida, but I am also from New Jersey. And all of these experiences and all of these identities and all of these aspects of myself, they all create this being that is myself. And every piece that I take from everything that I have, I am able to bring to others. So the name of the game, I suppose, is to understand this. They say as above, so below, to understand this on Earth and to understand this throughout the universe, and to understand that we all have a very important piece. Am I a starseed? Yeah, you're all starseeds. You're all starseeds. We are all starseeds. We are all of the stars. Everything is created from the stars. We're just at different levels of experience. Some have a broader awareness and understand their intergalactic connections. And some of us are doing our best to figure out how to do Earth. But everybody on the spectrum has the opportunity to assist another. The fifth grader assists the kindergartner. But the kindergartner assists, his 2-year-old brother in tying shoes. So again, just trying to put it in perspective, throughout time, we have all of these famous starseeds because the purpose of a starseed is somebody, again, who's got a higher level of awareness that is assisting us, humanity, globally, to raise our vibration. So when you look at that, look at throughout time, look at the real stars that came in to help, like scientists, right? You have scientists like Tesla and Einstein. They clearly not only had a higher level of understanding or intelligence, but because of that awareness, they were able to align and tap into the ethers, to tap into intelligence that is out there that we all have the ability to connect with. You got philosophers like Socrates, Confucius, Marcus Aurelius, bringing in new ideas. And like I said, either connecting with them or them being a part of them, or both. You got peacemakers. Look at Jesus. Jesus was of a higher intelligence, a broader awareness, and was able to bring humanity at that time a deeper understanding of where we're from. But many of these starseeds have been misunderstood and treated as gods, or treated poorly because they were misunderstood. But all they were human beings, regardless of where they're from, to assist humanity in its growth and development. It's really something. It's so important to me that we understand that what our purpose is here as individuals. Our purpose, whether you are a starseed or not, remember we're all starseeds, but whether you're here with this greater mission to elevate humanity, first and foremost, your purpose is to elevate yourself. Your purpose is for your own personal growth, your own development, your own expansion. You're broadening your awareness, broadening your perspective. And then when you have the ability to do that, then you assist others. All of us, that is your purpose. So you see what's going on in the world around us. The world around us is at a very, very important part in its evolution. The vibration, and we talked about vibration in a few previous episodes, but the vibration of Earth is elevating because the universe is expanding, everything is expanding, and the vibration of Earth is elevating. And as it elevates, we talked about this, all of the yucky stuff comes up, right? In order to get rid of that, in order to release that, so you can raise your vibration. Right? You're digging through your pony. So Earth collectively is digging for its pony. And while it's doing that, we're seeing all of these institutions, all of the way things were begin to fall apart. You know, I'm often misunderstood that I'm excited about this because when shit's going south, like out in the world or on the news, I'm always like, yay, eating my popcorn. And I don't want to see people suffer, but I have this understanding that things have to be razed to the ground in order to be built up. So you're seeing institutions that like the financial institutions, the medical institutions, the political institutions. Oh my God, education, all of this stuff is starting to implode. Essentially, you don't think that there are people within these institutions that are assisting in that implosion? They may not appear like, but everybody's got a role. So it implodes so we could bring in this higher vibration. So that leads us to the children. So you have many of us that are in this right now, like the Gen X, maybe some millennials, maybe even some Zs, but let's just go with Gen X and millennials that have been here to overcome some really dark stuff, transmute their own stuff in an obvious way, to show others the way by being the way and to be the assist, the warriors, driving this implosion into this building of anew. And then you have these new generations coming in that are already high vibratory, these new star seeds. And they're going to take the baton from us, and they are going to usher Earth into into a better place, we'll just say. So how do you recognize these kids? How do we know? Well, I think very often when you have parents who have been through it and have transmuted it and have come out the other side, the warriors, we'll call them, typically they're parents of these kids because they understand them and they know how to address them. But you'll see a lot of these kids have been diagnosed over the last 20 years or so with learning disabilities. They have sensitivities to things, and because we have been forcing all of these years this square pegs in these round holes in our educational system that is of the old energy, these kids appear, we think there's something wrong with them. We label them. We drug them. But really, these disabilities, these sensitivities are just of a higher vibratory state, a higher sensory state. And when we begin to understand that, and we stop trying to force them in institutions that no longer work, then they can rise up and they can continue to assist the world into a better state of being, we'll just say. So if you think you're a starseed, you are. You are. If you feel like your purpose is to assist others, it is. It is. Does it matter where you're from? For curiosity's sake, yeah. But in the big picture, we are all in this together, and we are all here to assist one way or another. And when we understand that, it takes the ego out of it a little bit. So I want to read something to you. So if you've been watching, you know that I've created this beautiful deck of Soul Traveler cards with my dear friend Anne-Marie Scordy, with my artwork and her super profound channel messages. So I chose this one today. This is Angel Baby, by the way. It's hard to see her wings. I said, baby. Okay. The message on this card is your purpose. Many believe the purpose must be grand, great, assisting humanity on a grand scale, like a movie. Understand that your purpose is to follow your happiness, to create a foundation, a microcosm for yourself built upon the truth of who you are. And the truth of who you are is discoverable by dedicating to yourself. As you allow yourself, as you give yourself permission to engage in your joy, your happiness, then you have achieved your purpose. From there, your effects will naturally expand outward without effort, without force. That is the flow. That is the fun. You are, in fact, in alignment with your true being. And when this becomes your everyday state of existence, you have become. That is your purpose. So, again, just to reiterate, it's a lot of fun to begin to discover who we are, discover our previous lives. Everything's happening concurrently, but you understand what I'm saying. But to understand our lives, to understand these aspects of ourselves, to understand where in the stars, where in the cosmos we're from. It's really fun because the more we know about ourselves and the more we understand ourselves, the more we begin to understand the world around us. So yeah, it's cool. If you want to know, if you're a Arcturian and you want to know all about what that's like, well then yeah, you bring that here. You bring that to yourself. If you want to know about your Italian heritage, oh my God, it's awesome. Go there, experience it, study it, learn the language, eat the food, all of those things. That goes obviously for any culture. I'm just speaking of my own. And then bring it to who you are. Oh yeah, I'm from Jersey. There's a little bit of that in me. Okay, I'm going to bring that to who I am. And when I understand that all of those things make me the unique individual I am, but don't identify with it in a way that elevates me, that creates a hierarchy, because it's really the opposite of why we're here. These highest levels of awareness, these highest levels of intelligence, these highest levels of love and compassion are truly why the starseeds are here, to assist people of Earth to understand that it's just about love and compassion and awareness and dedication to self and all those things. That's what they're teaching us. And when we realize that, and we realize that that's all it's ever about, we begin to let go a little bit and have love and have joy and have fun, to do the things that we love, to address the things that we don't love, to clean out the energy, the obstacles that are in a way of us manifesting, to dig through that pile of shit, to raise our vibration, to find our pony, to find those aspects of ourselves that are out of balance and bring them back into balance, to recognize that our beliefs create our reality and to look at them and see what's irrational and then restructure the beliefs, or to check the patterns that we're living in that are no longer serving us and create new patterns. All of the things that we talked about up until now. That's what I call them, the they. That's what the they are here for, to assist us. And we have not only the star seeds that have incarnated, but we have the ground troops. We have the sky troops as well. And we have spirit guides. And we have all sorts of assists. And we get these messages through our dream state, through our thoughts, through channels and mediums and psychics, through all of that, to also help assist. So we have the sky troops, we have the ground troops, we come together and we raise the vibration, we lift humanity. So next episode, we're going to talk about the skinny on psychics and healers and channels, uh, spirit guides. I point to the sky, the spirit guides, and all of those assists, and what that looks like, and our spiritual gifts, and how to increase our spiritual gifts so we have a better connection with the assistants, so then we could assist others. So you see how that works? Okay. So I'm looking forward to next time. I'm really psyched for the next episode. I'm really looking forward to talking about the psychics and the healers and the channels and all that, because that's the real fun stuff. So until then, again, I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for showing up. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, Ubuntu.